Hello everyone, how are you all doing? The PS1 console marked an era of classic RPGs that are still greatly missed today. That's why today we're going to revisit 12 fantastic RPGs that marked this golden era. So, without further ado, we'll start the video with Final Fantasy VII, a game that made history in RPGs by introducing a visual and technical revolution that redefined the genre. Launched in an era of transition from 2D to 3D, the game featured detailed pre-rendered scenarios and polygonal character models, something innovative for the PlayStation 1. Its cinematic computer graphics scenes, such as the escape from Midgar or the confrontation with Sephiroth, were visually stunning, rivaling cinematographic productions of the time. The narrative of Final Fantasy VII was another pillar of its revolutionary impact. With a story that addressed complex themes such as identity, trauma, environmentalism, and sacrifice, the game presented deeply developed characters such as Cloud Strife, a protagonist with internal conflicts, and Sephiroth, a charismatic and tragic villain. The legacy of Final Fantasy VII is also reflected in its game mechanics and soundtrack, which set new standards for the genre. The materia system allowed flexible customization of abilities and magic, offering strategic depth without compromising accessibility, influencing customization systems in later RPGs.
Sincronizar. Eu sei, tem tantas coisas que eu tenho que falar. Aqui é be strong now. I don't know if I can hold. Então, hey, você pode be strong now. I don't know if I can hold on. Fazendo isso eu ganho um ponto pra Tifa.
Grandia for the PlayStation 1 was a great RPG for several reasons that combined classic elements with interesting innovations for its time. The real-time battle system with the ability to pause the action to select commands was a breath of fresh air. This allowed for strategic planning without sacrificing the immersion of the fight. The addition of a time gauge for special attacks added an extra layer of strategy, rewarding the player for observing enemy patterns and timing attacks. The story of Grandia, despite being somewhat cliché in some aspects, had an engaging plot with unexpected twists. The characters were charismatic and well-developed, each with their own motivations and distinct personalities. The relationships between the characters were believable and added depth to the narrative. For its time, Grandia stood out for its fluidity and innovation in the battle system. The combination of real-time with strategic pausing was something new and influenced many subsequent games. Final Fantasy VIII, released in 1999 for the PlayStation 1, is considered a perfect RPG that marked the history of games in the genre. The junction system is one of FF8's most striking features. It allows players to equip magic directly to character attributes, such as strength, vitality, or magic, to customize their abilities. This creates a unique strategic approach, where collecting and managing magic via the draw command is as important as leveling up. Although it has a learning curve, the system offers the freedom to create powerful builds and experiment with different strategies. For its time, F8 was visually revolutionary. The full motion video, FMV scenes are impressive, with sequences like Squall and Renoa's dance, or the initial battle against Adea being iconic. The pre-rendered environments are detailed, and the 3D character models, though simple today, were advanced for the PS1. The artistic direction creates a vibrant world, blending technology and fantasy. FF8 was a landmark in the popularization of JRPGs in the West, helping to consolidate the Final Fantasy series as a benchmark in the genre. Despite some initial criticisms of the junction system or the more introspective narrative, the game gained a passionate fan base and continues to be revered for its boldness in experimenting with new ideas. Suikoden 2, released for the PlayStation in 1999, was an exceptional RPG that elevated it above many other games of the genre. Its greatness lies in a combination of factors that create a memorable and lasting experience. The story of Suikoden 2 is one of its greatest strengths. It presents a complex political conflict, with characters with ambiguous motivations and moralities, without the simplistic black-and-white dichotomy of villain and hero. War, betrayal, and the consequences of the character's actions are portrayed deeply and impactfully. You not only follow the story, but actively participate in its construction, influencing its outcome with your choices. The turn-based battle system, although simple in its basic mechanics, is strategic and engaging. The combination of character abilities, item usage, and resource management makes each fight a stimulating challenge. The variety of units and possible strategies ensures that battles do not become repetitive. The world is vast and full of details. Each city, town, and region has its own atmosphere, history, and characters. Exploring this world is a rewarding experience, with many secrets and side events to be discovered. The attention to detail in the setting and character design contributes to the player's immersion. Final Fantasy IX, originally released for the PlayStation in 2000, made history in RPGs for several reasons, many of them related to its innovation compared to previous titles in the franchise and the genre as a whole. Despite not being revolutionary in terms of game mechanics, its impact was felt in other crucial aspects. FF9 brought the equipment-based ability system, where characters learn spells and techniques by equipping specific items. This encouraged exploration and strategy, adding depth to combat. The return of the fixed class system, like Black Mage, Knight, Thief, reinforced the unique identity of each character, contrasting with the total customization of FF7 and FF8. The game made the most of the PS1 hardware, with impressive graphics for its time, including high-quality cinematic CGs and richly detailed environments. Final Fantasy IX synthesized the best of 32-bit era RPGs, combining emotional narrative, strategic gameplay, and a unique aesthetic. It proved that the genre could be both nostalgic and innovative, paving the way for future titles that value storytelling and visual identity. Xenogears was a landmark in the history of RPGs for several reasons, mainly due to its ambition and innovation in various aspects. The game had an extremely complex and deep story, exploring philosophical, religious, and existential themes in an innovative way for its time. The epic narrative, with multiple character arcs and surprising twists, stood out for its ambition and originality, differentiating itself from other RPGs of the time that often presented more linear and less complex stories. The intricate mythology and the exploration of heavy themes such as the nature of humanity, free will, and destiny contributed to its complexity. The turn-based battle system, although based on existing models, introduced unique elements, such as the gear combination system that allowed the player to combine the protagonist with various giant machines, each with distinct abilities and capacities, expanding combat strategies. This introduced a more tactical and strategic dynamic into the battle system. Breath of Fire 3. For the PlayStation 1 was a significant milestone in RPG history for a variety of reasons, even though it was released at a time dominated by giants like Final Fantasy VII. It stood out for its unique blend of graphical elements, narrative depth, and innovative mechanics. Breath of Fire 3 was one of the first RPGs to successfully transition from 2D to 3D on the PlayStation. Although the environments were 3D, the characters were detailed and richly animated 2D sprites with 8-directional movement. This combination created a distinct and charming visual style that is still appreciated today. Capcom, known for its mastery of 2D graphics, truly shone in the animation of characters and monsters. The game is acclaimed for its engaging story and memorable characters. It follows the journey of Ryu, a young man who is the last of his race, the Broods, with the ability to transform into dragons. The narrative addresses themes such as identity, loss, the search for belonging, and the weight of choices, all within a plot that unfolds from Ryu's childhood to his adult life. Breath of Fire 3 became a cult classic and a landmark in RPG history for its ability to combine charming visuals, an emotional narrative, and innovative and deep game systems. It proved that an RPG didn't need to follow the conventions of other successful titles to leave its mark, offering a unique and memorable experience that resonates with fans to this day. Vagrant Story, released for PlayStation in 2000, is an action RPG developed by Square, now Square Enix, that stands out for its deep narrative and innovative gameplay. The story takes place in the city of Liamond, a place full of mystery and magic, where the protagonist, Ashley Riot, a member of the elite organization Riskbreaker, is tasked with capturing a thief known as Duke Bardorba. The plot is complex and engaging, exploring themes of betrayal, redemption, and Ashley's internal struggle against his own demons. One of the main features of Vagrant Story is its real-time combat system, which combines RPG and action elements. Players can attack, defend, and use special abilities in real time, allowing for a dynamic and strategic combat experience. The control system is intuitive and allows players to customize their combat approaches using various weapon types and styles. In addition, the game features a targeting system that allows focusing on specific parts of enemies, adding an extra layer of strategy to battles. Equipment and item customization is another aspect that stands out in Vagrant Story. The game offers a weapon and armor crafting system where players can disassemble and combine different items to create unique and powerful equipment. Tales of Destiny is an RPG that captivates players with its engaging narrative and charismatic characters. The story follows Stan Aileron, a young adventurer who finds a talking sword named Deimos, embarking on an epic journey to protect the world. The plot is full of twists and turns, exploring themes of friendship, sacrifice, and destiny. The characters are well developed, each with their own stories and motivations, which enriches the experience and makes the group dynamic one of the game's highlights. The battle system of Tales of Destiny is one of its most innovative and striking elements. Known as the linear motion battle system, it allows players to control their characters in real time on a 2D battlefield. This dynamic and strategic approach differs from traditional turn-based battle systems, offering a more immersive and interactive experience. Players can perform combos and use special arts to defeat enemies, adding depth and variety to combat. Tales of Destiny is one of the most popular games in the Tales of series, helping to establish many of the elements that would become hallmarks of the franchise, influencing other RPGs with its innovative battle system and memorable characters. Breath of Fire 4, released for PlayStation 1 in 2000, is an RPG that stands out for its engaging narrative and charismatic characters. The game features an innovative plot, allowing players to experience the story from different perspectives, including that of the villain Fulu at certain moments. This unique approach offers emotional depth to the plot, exploring themes of destiny, power, and redemption. The protagonists, Ryu and Nina, are especially memorable, with development arcs that captivate players and make them connect with their personal journeys. The battle system of Breath of Fire 4 is also one of its strengths. It allows players to position their characters in different formations, influencing their abilities and resistance during combat. In addition, the game introduces the concept of masters, who are characters who can train the protagonists, teaching skills and altering attributes. This customization mechanic offers players a wide range of strategic options, encouraging experimentation and adaptation of tactics to face the game's challenges. Visually, the game stands out for its striking artistic style. The characters are well designed, and the animations are fluid, contributing to a pleasant visual experience. Legend of Dragoon for the PS1 is considered a milestone in RPGs, especially for its innovative battle system. The game introduced the Additions system, which required players to execute button combinations at the right moment to increase damage during attacks. This engaging mechanic transformed battles into a more interactive experience, allowing players to connect more deeply with the game. In addition, the game stood out for its Dragoon transformation mechanic, which allowed characters to access special abilities and attacks. Each Dragoon had unique elements and abilities, which added a strategic layer to battles. This depth in combat mechanics encouraged players to explore different tactics and plan their actions carefully. The game's narrative and presentation also contributed significantly to its importance. With an epic plot that addressed themes such as war and destiny, Legend of Dragoon offered a rich and diverse world, complemented by impressive graphics and a memorable soundtrack. Although it didn't achieve the same level of success as other RPGs of its time, it earned a special place in the hearts of many fans, being remembered for its innovations and the immersive experience it provided. Chrono Cross, the classic PlayStation 1 game, was an exceptional RPG for several reasons that set it apart even today. Its main strength lies in its originality and daring experimentation, breaking away from the conventions of the time. The narrative of Chrono Cross is complex and multifaceted, exploring themes such as destiny, free will, and the nature of reality. The plot, although it can be confusing at some points, presents an unusual depth and maturity for its time, with twists and moral dilemmas that capture the player's attention. The large number of characters, each with their own story and motivations, contributes to the richness of the experience, allowing the player to connect with different perspectives and personalities. The absence of a single protagonist and the emphasis on multiple viewpoints contributed to a rich and memorable narrative. The world of Chrono Cross is vast and full of diverse and visually stunning locations. Exploration is rewarding, with many hidden secrets and items to be discovered. Well, that's the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and see you in the next video.
And all alone. But I don't need to see, so just tell me where to go. Even though all my light has been fading, and I won't need to be there to face the unknown. But tonight I've been blinded by the dark. Without fear, I will reach for new And even when the stars seem far away,